Google is living in the future with NotebookLM. Imagine having a personalized AI assistant that can help you design resources for free and help your students to learn. In this video, I'll show you 10 ways you can use NotebookLM to save you planning time and enhance teaching and learning. NotebookLM is unique because it's grounded in your sources, whether it's PDFs, YouTube videos, or websites. And on the homepage, it says we value your privacy and do not use your personal data to train NotebookLM. This makes it quite useful and suitable for the education space. Everything that's generated in the chatbot is deleted, so if you do want to save it, make sure you save it as a note. Let's jump into the first use case. We're going to click on Try NotebookLM and create a new notebook. You're first going to be prompted to add sources. I'm going to add some PowerPoint PDFs. I'm also going to upload some YouTube videos. Click Add and we'll click YouTube. Your sources are going to appear on the left panel, and you can choose to rename them by clicking the 3 dots there and renaming the source. So here you can see I've got the 2 PDFs and 2 YouTube videos. The middle section is your chatbot, where you have a summary of your sources, as well as a section where you can start typing to the chatbot. On the right-hand panel, you've got the studio, which we're going to take a look at later. Once you've added all your sources, you can start generating some class resources. For this example, I'm just going to say create a comprehension worksheet for Year 10 students that's going to pull from my 4 sources. Very quickly, NotebookLM is going to give you a response, and you can go ahead and check the comprehension questions. As you can see, some of the math symbols don't display correctly, so what we can do is we can just scroll to the bottom, click on copy. We can then prompt Google Gemini to fix the math symbols. So we can say, rewrite the text as it is and display the maths symbols correctly. So as you can see, we've got the math symbols displaying now. If you like the output that NotebookLM has provided in the chat box, make sure you hit the Save to Note button. Otherwise, it's going to disappear. The Save to Note button is just going to save all the text and stick it here in the studio on the right. Next, we're going to take a look at the studio features here on the right-hand side. We're first going to look at the Flashcards option. You just need to click on it. While we're waiting for that, we're also going to click on the quiz feature as well. It might take a minute or so to load, but once it's loaded up, you can click on it and open it up. And here we've got some flashcards. So what is the general definition of interest in the context of borrowing money? We can flip it over and it has the response there. You can see it's generated 42 cards. I think it's a little bit different each time. Let's also take a look at the quiz. And here you've got 10 multiple choice type questions. Let's go ahead and just click through it. Once the quiz is finished, you'll have an option to see how you went. So you've got the score, the accuracy, and an option to review or retake the quiz. So once your flashcards and quizzes are ready, you can go ahead and actually share them to your students. Just click on More, click Share, and you can type your student's email there, or you can create a web link. If you want to have different question sets for your quiz, you can go ahead and generate the quiz again and just rename the quiz, quiz A and then quiz B. To rename your quiz, just click on More and rename A and B. This can just help you keep track of the quizzes that you've used. Next, in the studio, we're going to take a look at reports. You can create your own type of report, a briefing doc, a study guide, a blog post. In this case, we're going to use the study guide. And here on the right, you can see it's generating the report based on my sources. Once it's generated, we can click into the study guide, and you can see that we've got some short answer quiz questions, an answer key, essay questions, and a glossary of key terms as well. You can then go ahead and copy this text into a Word doc and send it to your students. The next use case is really great for those students that like to listen and talk rather than reading text, and it's the audio overview option. In my opinion, this feature is the most mind-blowing, and it involves 2 AI agents simply having a conversation with each other, summarizing the information from your sources. If you click on the edit button up the top here, you can even customize how the audio presents itself. So in my default case, you've got a deep dive of a conversation between the two hosts. You can choose the language and also choose focus areas. Once it's loaded, you can go ahead and play your podcast.
Welcome back to the deep dive. We take tricky subjects, pull them apart, and give you the essentials. Today we're getting into money math.
There's even an option to be interactive, and you can even use your microphone and talk to the AI agents.
Oh, hey there, what's up?
How do you teach compound interest to high school students?
But it's essential now.
So how do we make it engaging?
We need to make it tangible.
Exactly. Think of the contrast.
We start with simple interest first.
That's I equals PRN.
It's linear, right?
This is a really engaging and interactive way to digest the content. In this case, the podcast itself was a little over 13 minutes long, and I think that's a good amount of time to really summarize what we've got here. Next, we've got the Mindmap feature in the studio. Mindmaps are great for teaching because it helps you just break down the concept into some digestible topics. And here we've got financial mathematics just broken up. And if you click on the arrows, it will just keep expanding the mind map. And if you click on a certain area of interest, it will just prompt the chat, and then you can continue learning about the topic within the chat. Next, let's take a look at the video overview feature.
All right, let's talk about one of the most powerful and honestly most misunderstood concepts in all of personal finance.
So here we've got an AI voiceover and a slide deck as well. And when we click through it, we can just take a look at the slide deck. You can also go ahead and change the playback speed and download the video as well. The video is just 5 minutes long, and it just summarizes everything in a nice package. We've explored everything in the studio and developed some really nice resources here on the right panel. What we can do is also share this entire notebook with our students, and they can go ahead and interact with the chat to learn more about the topic. So to share, we just need to click on the button here and just add students via email, or just generate a link that you can just copy and paste. Next, we're going to take a look at developing a unit plan, which is a series of lessons for a specific topic. Here we're looking at Year 8 Maths and equations. I've added the sources that I want to reference. So here I've got the math syllabus, a blog containing some ideas on activities to use, a website on some interactive simulations, and some teaching ideas and strategies from Rosenshine. I think it's a good idea to have some teaching strategies as a source, because then throughout your unit plan, you're reminded of some effective ways to engage students. I've copied over my prompt, which is create a unit plan for teaching equations over 10 lessons. Include links to syllabus and clear lesson objectives using Rosenshine's principles of instruction. So once the chat has generated, we can take a look. So here we've got the 10 lesson unit plan, which is a nice table where it introduces the focus area, the syllabus link, the teaching principles, the lesson objectives, and a worked example. For the maths to render properly, you can also just copy the text into Gemini, and make sure you scroll to the bottom and click on Save to Note so that you don't lose the work. I like this use case for creating unit plans or lesson plans in NotebookLM because you can use the mind map feature to help you better digest what is in the unit plan. For example, in my use case, you can get an overview of Rosenshine's principles of instruction. You can take a look at the syllabus in more detail with all the topics, and you can take a look at some activities for teaching equations. Next, you can create some differentiated reading materials for students. Here I've got an article from Google on what is AI, and the article has some complex ideas. We can ask the chat to create a reading article for 12-year-old students. NotebookLM will then generate a resource that's more developmentally appropriate for your class. Similarly, you can use any of the studio features as well to support students. The last use case on this video is for reflective practice. Using your current teaching resources, NotebookLM can suggest you some actionable improvements that you can make. You can upload anything from your professional development notes to some teaching strategies that you want to embed, such as project-based learning or student-based learning. And then NotebookLM can help you identify opportunities to place some different activities. What makes NotebookLM stand out is that it protects your data and it uses your sources, not random information from the internet. If you found this video helpful, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button and let me know in the comments how you're going to be using NotebookLM.